everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. I am filming videos. It was pitch black out, so I think I've been at this for like 2 hours now. An hour and 45 minutes, I should say. I am here today to bring you my most disappointing reads of 2021. Now, disappointing reads don't mean that I also didn't finish them. It could be that they were some of my most anticipated books and I just didn't like them. So I'll have my story graph over here because I'm quite literally just scrolling through month by month to look at what those books were. So let's go ahead and get started. For in the month of January, I don't actually think I had anything that was too horrible, but I do think my disappointing read was Pepper, A History of the World's Most Influential Spice by Marjorie Schaefer. I found this very limited and very political. I did do a whole book duos where I compared this book to Mark Kurlansky's Salt, so you can go check out that review if you want to see it in more detail. My cats are playing off camera and I'm easily distracted. In the month of February, I didn't actually have anything I didn't enjoy, so that was a good month for me. In the month of March, I read this book called Supper Club by Lara Williams, and it is a contemporary fiction, and I just hated this book. I just felt like it, first off, there's trigger warnings for like eating disorders and self-harm. I was not prepared for that, and I just felt like the book didn't focus enough about the supper club itself. It was very dark. It was very misleading. I felt like in what I was going, expectations versus reality. Let's see. In the month of April, one of my biggest disappointments this year, which was such a bummer because it was a buddy read, was Black, White, and the Grave, the story of an unexpected friendship and a landmark restaurant by John O. Morisano and Mashama Bailey. I will link to that review as well. First off, I was so bummed because I was reading with Amanda over at the Curly Reader, and it was one of my first buddy reads, and I was so excited to like introduce someone to food writing, and this book stunk, and she hated it too, and I felt so bad. And Amanda, I hope you give me another chance that we could buddy read something together in the future because this was just a downer. I felt the story in this was very unbalanced. You got a lot more of John O. than you did Mashama. It felt like Mashama was quite literally forced to write this book, and it didn't feel that great. Which is strange because I follow them on Instagram, and she seems much more relaxed when she does in person or has a moment to actually converse with you versus writing this book. Maybe that comes with practice and experience. I don't know. But this was on my most anticipated reads, and I hated this book, and I'm really upset. Sorry again, Amanda. Oh, another book I read this month that I did not like was Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. You can read my full review, Eat, Pray, Rage, where I rant about how freaking awful that book was and how absolutely annoying she is as a human being. Nothing for the month of May in terms of a disappointing read. And June was pretty good as well. Gluten is My Bitch was a fun book to read, but like a 3-star. I don't really review books in that way anymore, but I was hoping for a lot more, but I think the book felt a little dated. At the time, she was a pioneer blogger about eating gluten-free, and I just think there's been so much more of it's come out in the past 10 years that it's just not a groundbreaking book because it's been out for a while, and it's totally fine. July was fine. In August, I read The Land Where Lemons Grow, The Story of Italy and Its Citrus by Helena, Adel. I read this for a book club with Kitchen and Letter Arts NYC, and I just found that book so boring. And I really wanted to like learn about citrus and lemons, and it didn't captivate my attention, which I also felt like I was the odd man out because when I got to that book club, people loved that book. I did like the recipes in the book. They felt very old world and very interesting, but the storytelling itself was just not my thing at all. September was a fine month. Oh, this is going to be like a very anticlimactic list. And October was okay. What did I read last month? Was there any disappointing books in November? No, not really. So let me go to my DNF books really quickly. Oh, I did DNF 4 books this year. So 3 books this year, excuse me. I did DNF Dangerous Tastes, A Story of Spices by Andrew Dalby. And I remember being very disappointed because I had just read Pepper and Salt and I really wanted to learn more about spices. And this was just basically an encyclopedia. So it really wasn't marketed the right way. I completely did not read Wine Politics, How Government, Environmentalists, Mobsters, and Critics Influence the Wines We Drink. It was very thin. It didn't feel very researched and it didn't excite me or captivate me. Now, I don't drink wines. That might be part of the problem. But the final book I did not like was Raw and Cooked, Adventures of a Roving Gourmand by Jim Harrison. So this book apparently is he's a poet and a writer and just happened to have a whole book about food. But this book did not age well. He was friends with Mario Batali. The way they talked about women in the book and like sexual identity or with food and I don't know. It was really creepy. Like I read and I went, ooh, you are a creepy old guy and I don't want to read this anymore. So I didn't finish it, which looking at this year, I should really have DNF'd more books this year. And instead what I do is I just put them on the shelf and I just pick up another book and start reading them as well. I should unhaul more of my books, which I will be doing an unhaul video before the end of this year and donating books to my little free library. So keep an eye out for that as well. But really of this list, the book that sticks out to me the most as the most disappointing read of the year was Black, White, and the Gray. I had such high hopes for that book. I had learned about the Gray from Chef's Table. I had learned about Mashama Bailey from that. I pre-ordered that book. I was so excited. It was on my anticipated reads list, and it just was bad. And again, I'm so sorry, Amanda. Please, let's do another buddy read in 2022. I'll let you pick the book, and hopefully we have a better experience. Let me know in the comments below, have you read any of these books? Do you have different opinions from me? I'd love to know. Did anyone else read Black, White, and the Gray? I'd love to know what your experience was. On the way down, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and be sure to follow me on Instagram and follow my website to learn more about the Read It and Eat subscription boxes where we do good by fighting hunger. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, wear a mask, and happy holidays. Bye!